Yeah, this has been bugging me a long time.
And there are, and let me set it up this way before you explain. You have your opinion, and yet there are, I think, Representative Cruz among them, but a lot of solid conservatives that are thinking this isn't the worst idea in the world.
Yep, and they've been texting
you do.
me.
What is it?
You know what? You're trying to lure people back to work with $1,000. To give them $1,000, they have to give up unemployment for 26 months. My whole issue with that, John, is, there's healthcare workers, there's police and firefighters, there's people on the front lines who've been working through this whole pandemic and never missed a day. And we don't have to lure them back to work. We don't have to give them cash to get them to come to their job. Why is this a good idea? It just seems like the prodigal son story to me.
Or is it a bad one?
It's an idea.
Well, he's good.
So
when you run for office.
So, I mean, we got to look at why this is a problem, why they're doing this in the first place. Government created an issue where they're now competing with employers. So employers aren't competing against one another for employees. They're competing against the government for individuals who want to come to work or don't want to come to work. The government created this by shutting down businesses and eliminating jobs effectively. And then they created the problem we have now by offering almost or more than double what a Louisiana resident can get in unemployment through the federal benefits. So before you could get just under $300 a week through benefits in Louisiana. Now it's almost $600 per week. So we have a problem in Louisiana now where we have an abundance of jobs. We have people or businesses who are paying people extra money to come to work, and they won't do it. So the legislature is looking for a way to help that process along. Across the country, this has been a problem. The most recent jobs report, they expected to add 1 million new jobs in this country. They only added about 250,000. It was a shock. Those numbers were not expected. Normally, their numbers are off a little bit. These numbers were off by a lot. The job openings in this country are 8.1 million. 8.1 million open jobs and nobody to take them because they're not competing with one another any longer. They're competing with the government and their printing press, and that's fundamentally unfair. So I understand where the legislature's coming from this. I get why they would want to push a policy like this.
Plus, it's the government's COVID money to begin with. It's not like it's coming out of the Louisiana bank, the Louisiana coffers. The state government is not paying for this. This is part of those federal funds.
It is. And I'm going to stop short of endorsing the plan. I don't think that the legislators who are introducing it really love the idea that they're having to introduce this. They don't want to issue these payments. They just want people to go back to work. And they're trying to figure out a way to make that happen.
Maybe you cut off the benefits. Other states have done it. Why not try that?
I believe John Bel Edwards would be the one to have to do that. And he has signaled that he's not willing to take that step. So they're looking outside the box and trying to figure out what they can do to incentivize people to go back to work. I can't say that I blame them. This isn't the type of policy that you would see me write about or advocate for. It's a cautionary tale for the future, whether it's a future pandemic or any other future government action. When the government does things like this, there are repercussions that echo throughout the private sector.